So this might seem like a clickbait title, but there are actually a lot of easy ways to get 6 things. So I wanted to make a video going over most of the ways that you can get 6 things in Path of Exile, and some of them are actually pretty easy. So obviously, step 1, just drop 1 lol. Now, with the rares being the way they are in Path of Exile, one of the rewards is that it drops max sockets, so anything that can be 6-socketed will be, and another reward is that everything that can be linked will be linked. So 4-socketed gloves would be 4 linked, but 6-socketed chests and 6-socketed weapons would be 6 linked. You might have seen clips of people in like Gamer for Life, etc., dropping like 5 to 10, maybe even 15 6 links of one monster. So this is a good incentive to have a lot of rares in your map. So for example, Harbinger helps with that, and it'll also give you a lot of fractured gear. But this is still quite rare and not like a reliable way, but obviously setting ourselves up for that is a useful thing to do. Now, and obviously we all know that we can actually link items, right? Just by throwing fusings on them. However, what not everybody knows is that you can actually improve the odds of this. Some people actually think I'm joking, so I'll show you that it literally says on the item. But if you read the gray text here, the item's quality increases the chance of obtaining more links. And this is pretty significant. Last time somebody did like large scale testing, like I think there was like 100,000 fusings or 1,000,000 fusings. If I remember right, it was something like with 0 quality, it was pretty much 15 or 1400 fusing on average. Something like 1200 fusings with 20 quality. And I think it was 1100 or 1000 fusings on average with 28 or 30 quality. So how do we get higher quality on items? Well, if it's an item you haven't crafted already, you can use perfect fossils. They're here somewhere. I don't think I have any. But you can use the perfect fossil. This will reroll the item, but also reroll the quality between 0 and 30. So once you're able to get 30 quality, then you can start linking and have better odds and save yourself fusing. This is really good for an item where you don't necessarily need it now, but you really do want it to 6 link and you don't want to use a crazy amount. Another option to get quality is through the Syndicate.
Thanks.
So if you get Hillock on fortification, he will give armors higher quality up to 28 when he's level 3, or if you have him level 3 and then do Katarina, making him level 4, then it'll be 30 quality. And the same for transportation. This will be on weapons, and if you have him on research, he will do flasks. Now another thing, and this is my favorite method, is to look at divination cards. So what I mean by that, if you see this, find the stack of full divination cards. This is incredibly useful because some of these maps will have like 6 link div cards as rewards. One of my community members, Mariner, made a website so you can just search, oh, what drops in a tall? And then the old man, the spark and the flame, and he sort of rated them as well. But you can now get a rough idea of what drops 6 link cards. Now, this is like, still it's player made, and he updates it looking at PoEDB and stuff like that, which is data mined. So it should be up to date most of the time, but sometimes there are div card changes. So it might not always be up to date right after a patch, but they don't move div cards that much. So here we can see that Dungeon has the Chains That Bind for 16 body armor, and also like Bone Crypt has Celestial Justicar, and one of the best ones, Residence, has the Dapper Prodigy. So this is really, really good. And you can like sort of get a rough idea of what are really, really good cards to go for. So what I will do personally, I like having, 2 or 3 yellows, 2 or 3 whites, and then a bunch of reds. And then I use my rerolls. Right now I don't have any yellows, but that's not the end of the world. So I would like look through. And then museum, is there anything good here? Not really. Not really anything I cared about. The only thing... Oh, actually, I do care about Inspired Learning. So now that I've seen that there's an Inspired Learning card here, I'm actually going to do that. And now that we've opened a mission, even before we finish it, we can already look at the next ones. And remember to check the Kirak vendor, because you can buy, especially once you have high completion, you can buy things like Cortex, etc. We only got the Scholar, but a lot of the divination cards for 6 things, I find particularly Chains That Bind, is incredibly easy to get with this. So now that I've checked that there's nothing interesting here, I would do like a scouting report, look through all of them again, find stack of divination cards, Spider Lair. spider there only has the web. That might not be fully up to date, but you know, I don't remember there being any good cards there. Vaal Temple, I think I will do, unless there's a really good div card thing somewhere else. So one thing that's really good is Vaal side areas. Now, sadly, opening a Vaal side area like this has been completely nerfed. Even the chest at the end no longer corrupts the item. I don't know if this is a bug or not, but either way, Vaal side areas like this no longer corrupt items at all, even from the chest, which is bad. But if you find a Vaal side area naturally, it'll have between like a 10 to 40% chance that every item that drops is corrupted, and every item from the chest at the end is corrupted. And this is actually a really, really good way to get 6 things, even though they're corrupted. And that's because one of the Vaal outcomes to get a 6 thing is 1 in 160 Vaal orbs. It'll just, you know, max the link, max socket, but also reroll an item. This isn't something you can, like, you can't Vaal a unique to hope that it's 6 things. It will turn it rare as well. It will break any item you're doing it on, but it can reroll and you know, be a useful item still. So I don't know if I have any corrupted ones lying around. I think I just vendor all of mine. But do remember that you can recolor corrupted items in the crafting bench at the cost of Vaal orbs. So you can just search for red socket, and then even if the item is corrupted, it will let you recolor that. And another one is, of course, just literally farming divination cards. So for example, farming residence is a really, really good way to get it. And the way you can like increase your odds of getting that is obviously the more monsters are in the map. So things like Harbinger, Breach, etc. really good. And using Scarabs and putting more things in the map, really great. Sextants, if you have those. However, generally we do save those for like higher tier maps. But if you are desperate for a sextant, that is fine. But also running Incursion is huge because it adds so many monsters and has a really good drop rate of divination cards. The last time I found a full set of Dapper Prodigies, 4 out of 6 of the cards were from Incursion. I hope this video helps, and hopefully it didn't sound like clickbait, but there are a lot of great ways to get 6 things in Path of Exile. Thanks so much for watching. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.